a lot of the things we don't achieve in this life really come back to mindset, obstacles that we created for our own selves internally, like we talked about in the other video. So this here's the end, and I want to encourage you, no matter what obstacles come your way, don't quit. And the best thing to help you move forward is to not delay and just to get started right now, regardless of what the obstacles are, regardless of what things perceive to look like to you. You must move forward. Some of you might be like, well, my spouse said he doesn't want to move to Mexico, or he doesn't want to leave the United States, or he doesn't want to leave Canada. And that's fine. You can't control what he or she wants, but you can control what you do. Still do the research. It'll be an easier sell. It's easier to sell to your spouse the idea of moving abroad when you're able to bring all of this information to him and hand it to him on a silver platter. Just running your chops about it ain't gonna be enough for many of you. And, but if you want to convince him, you got to show him the facts. You got to show him the stuff. Show him the research. Honey, we can save $3,500 a month. Honey, based on our projected retirement income, we're going to have to downsize out of this house. We're not going to be able to stay in this neighborhood. We're going to have to move anyway. We ain't going to be able to afford to go out to dinner because you're going to be taking a pay cut when you finally quit working and go. Show them the facts. And that's what this course here this module session that you just went through is designed for you to have all the information and the knowledge and the resources you need. And with this information, you will have a better chance at selling him on an idea. Honey, according to statistics, there's more crime here in Chicago where we live. In Merida, violent crime is not even nowhere close to that. Honey, we can still go out to eat when you retire. If we move to Colombia, we can still go out there because we like to go out eating 3 days a week. You can do that when you're making your full check. But now your income is cut 30-40%. Your mortgage ain't paid off yet. So again, you'll be able to make a better case. It's almost like I had a coaching student in the past. They started a t-shirt business and, they quit. They quit real early. I'm sharing these stories because they're relevant. I think they help you. He was like, man, I can't start the t-shirt business. I don't have a heat press machine. So I decided I'm going to quit. I'm like, dude, how you going to quit? The t-shirt press is the last piece of equipment that you need to even get started. Have you even come up with a business name yet? No. Have you even sketched out your designs that you plan to sell? No. So you haven't even sketched out your design. So you don't even have a shirt made. You don't even have the concepts that you got in your mind on paper. And you already quitting before you even started. I mean, there's so many things you can do to get started. One, sitting down and brainstorming what your new company name is going to be. The very act of sitting down and trying to come up with a company name, you're in business. You've started. And then the next step becomes, okay, what kind of t-shirts will I sell? Let me go do some more research. Well, this idea that I have, will it work in this market? Okay, let me go see if other people are selling it and see how well they're doing. Let me talk to other people that's in the business and see what there's a lot you can do before you even buy the very first piece of equipment. And the same thing with your plan or your move abroad or your goal to open up a yoga studio, whatever your goals are. Do the research, do the work. It'll be easier for you to sell it. I'll give you an example. When I made my move here to Mexico, I'm bringing my girls down here with me. And, my wife was telling my daughter, you ain't gonna find no school down there in Mexico for ballet. There ain't no good schools down there in Mexico for ballet schools. You know what I mean? Putting all that stuff out there. Girl getting all discouraged. I'm like, look, Charlie, we'll sort all those details out when we get there. Your daddy gonna find you a school. Don't let folk get in your head. You know what I mean? So guess what happened when we got here? Man, the school down here smokes the school that she was at in the United States. There's no comparison. I was paying $200 a month for her to go to dance school in Greenville, South Carolina, 2 days a week. We thought it was a great program. Got here, they go to school 6 days a week, $50 a day. I mean, $50, 50 US dollars per month, 1,000 pesos. Now, the program is night and day. She did her first recital after being in the school about 6.5 months. And my God, the transformation that she went through just in those 6 months, oh my God. And this school is cranking out students that are getting accepted into dance schools and dance universities in different parts of the world, full ride scholarships. She has a real potential to get a dance scholarship from the school. The teachers have already told her, oh my God, Charlie, you can get accepted into a dance company. That nonsense we was in fooling with in the United States was a joke in comparison. You know what I mean? We thought they were doing something. Her classes here 6 days a week. We talking about 4 to 5 hours a day of instruction. It's insane. It's a very intensive program. This school, it's serious. 1,000 pesos, Mexican pesos, which is equivalent to $50 US. You know what I mean? So you can't let folks get in your mind. Even when I started this travel brand, this is a brand new company, Move Abroad and Thrive. Spouse was like, man, that thing ain't gonna work. You don't got what man, what you going to Mexico? What are you doing? You don't even have no. She didn't believe in it. But it doesn't matter whether she believed in it or not. It ain't her vision. It ain't meant for her to understand. Many folks will get discouraged and sidetracked and quit before they even get started because they spouse in their ear talking about they crazy. You can't let them folk get in your head. As I mentioned earlier in the previous video, you must motivate yourself. You got to inspire yourself. Ain't nobody coming to save you. And 9 times out of 10, your spouse ain't coming to save you either. They got their own stuff they got going on, issues and things they trying to work on or develop. I don't know what they got going on. But you can't rely on them. You got to rely on the plan that you wrote out for yourself. They mean well. They don't understand how toxic and dangerous the words are. You have to be able to discern and throw it out. And it's challenging. It's difficult. Because when things go south in the business, and it will, just understand that trouble is coming in the business, or trouble is coming when you start making your plan. You're going to run into obstacles and real roadblocks, but you're going to have to work around it. Trouble is coming, and it's easy to get discouraged and hear the I told you so and wonder, okay, maybe they were right. I promise you, they ain't right. I promise you that. You know what I mean? You got to work around it. Know in advance that trouble is coming and that you're going to have to work it out. And that's why you must have a plan that you stick to and you follow. If you don't have a plan, it's easy to get thrown sidetracked and get thrown sideways when you don't have a plan. Remember the phrase I make this statement all the time. Anxiety and frustration, particularly anxiety and stress, comes from lack of information, lack of knowledge, lack of a strategy, lack of a plan. When you don't know what you're going to be doing from day to day, when you don't know what the focus is on, it's easy to get distracted and frustrated and get anxiety. It's easy to get that. Lack of clarity, that's the word I'm looking for. You know, the frustration and anxiety normally comes from the lack of clarity. If you have your stuff written out and mapped out, you have clarity. It's less likely for you to get distracted and feeling a bunch of anxiety and getting thrown off track when you had a plan, because the plan is your blueprint, it's your destination guide to get you there. And you must trust the plan more than you trust them. But if you don't have a plan, you're likely to get swayed. And you don't want that. So don't quit, don't delay. And remember, always go back to that why. That why, which is why we worked on that, is going to save your butt. It's going to save you. Your why is going to get you back on track. Why are you working out to lose this weight? Well, my dad had a heart attack at 55 and he died. And I don't want to get sick and I don't want to die. I have children. I want to see what they become. I want to see them grow. I want to be here with my grandkids get here. That why is your motivation to get you back on track. Why are you moving abroad? Well, 15 years, I don't have my finances together, you know, I'm gonna be bagging groceries at the local public shopping center, and I'm gonna be dependent on my children to take care of me financially, and blah. And I don't want the government taking care. Hey, okay, focus on the why. You got to go back to it. You know what I mean? And that example I use, my dad didn't die of a heart attack. I'll just use that as an example. He died from pancreatic cancer. You know, so stay focused. Don't quit. Don't delay. Get help. Get help. Talk to people who've been down, who's on the road that you're trying to go to. And I'm just gonna kind of go over my notes. Get help. Find out who can help you. Stick to your plan. Make sure you do your visualization exercises every day, and you know, analyze where you're starting at. Analyze what skills and what you need, what information you need, what knowledge you need to continue moving forward. And above all, don't quit. I just want to stress that. Coming down here has been the best decision of my life. I have no regrets, no second thoughts. You know what I mean? Best decision ever. You know, and my goal was to try and live off of this business, and it looked like that's starting to take shape. You know, so it takes time. And even with all my experience and background, it takes time to build a business, which is what I'm doing. When you move to a new place, it's going to take time to adjust. It's not going to go, everything is not going to go so smoothly because you just made a major move. It's going to take time. You're going to stick to the plan. You're going to stay focused. And so that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope this session of the training has been very helpful. The most important part is that you actually do the work, stick to it, and follow it all the way through. Get your plan and work the plan. My name is Cartez Roth. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for your support. Ciao. Adios. Hasta luego. Means see you later. Could you smell?